Hey listeners, we're about to start the 99th episode. But before we do that, I have a special announcement. We're 1 week away from the 100th episode, and I've decided to do an R-rated podcast giveaway. I've teamed up with Rain Talent Management and special effects makeup artist Victoria Marjasso to spoil one lucky winner with this amazing R-rated gift basket worth over $300. Inside the basket, you'll find free professional 360 digitals with Rain and one of their top photographers, valued at $150, and you get natural edits. Second, be a guest on the R-rated podcast and engage with listeners on all streaming platforms. Last but not least, a private lesson on how to apply basic prosthetics with Victoria Marjasso, valued at $150. You must use this within 6 months of the entry date. All right, now to the fun stuff, how to win. Go on Instagram and follow the R-rated podcast, Rain and Victoria Marjasso MUA. Second, make sure you find the R-rated podcast on Spotify and YouTube and subscribe. Third, tag a friend in the comments who would enjoy the podcast. For an extra entry, like the post on Instagram and comment which platform you listen on. The winner will be contacted via DM only by the R-rated podcast on Wednesday, April 12th. You must be 18 years or older to enter. This giveaway is not sponsored by Instagram. Multiple entries are welcome and encouraged. Good luck, listeners. Welcome back to the R-rated podcast. The R-rated podcast. This week's guest is... Welcome back to the R-rated podcast. Today's guest is Jacob Vigil, and he's a familiar face on the podcast. Hello.
Hi.
We're going to do something fun today. I'm going to pull up some characters, and he has no idea which ones. And he's going to teach Nate and I. Nate's behind the screen. You don't see him right now, but he's here. I don't know if we're going to nail it. We're going to try. It might be a little far-fetched, but, you know, we're here to try new things. So... welcome back.
Hello.
First of all.
Let's do it.
All right. So my first character that I'm going to bring up is Edna Mode.
Okay.
So, from The Incredibles.
Edna is actually actually voiced by a man.
Okay. Wait, I did not know that. Okay.
So
love that.
The thing that that you could see from the character is that she, for one, knows exactly what she's talking about, so she's going to have very much confidence. Now, the thing that they put in here that isn't shown too much, because the way that I break down characters is basically looking at a physical description or giving out a detailed description of like what you would see in audition. So this is just coming off of straight off just the image of itself.
Okay.
So you can tell that she has a big nose, so she's going to be more nasal. For sure.
Okay.
So you're gonna put that all the way into your nasal part of your voice, basically like putting it in the back of your throat and just raising it up closer to your nose. Like if you say like my sinuses, that's basically the nasal part. And you know, with that confidence and that the thing that they did is they put an accent on it, because you don't really see too much of like an ethnicity with Edna. You could see a little bit in the eyes. You can see that she has some sort of ethnicity. Yeah. But the way that Edna Mode talks is actually not something you would see in the picture, because she gives off this thing of like she's, like she said, she's confident, but the thing of where you kind of get to play around with the voice a little bit by just seeing the picture of it is you can choose where you go with tempo, speed, and everything, because every single character has a rhythm to it. Like when you think about Fozzie, when you think about like Fozzie Bear, you think about right here. Yeah. Waka waka, you know, ba 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 da 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 da. That's his rhythm. Yeah. Edna has her own rhythm where she's very staccato. So Edna Mode.
Edna Mode.
Edna Mode. Now you.
Edna Mode.
There you go.
That was good. Nice.
See, you had the staccato to it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you really I want you to do go
Nah.
Now do that and try to do this and try to do that with that voice. So Edna Mode.
Edna Mode.
Edna Mode.
See, you guys are getting pretty good into it.
It's not gonna be cute facial expressions, but I'm gonna put my nose into it.
The cool thing with impressions is that you kind of find your tagline. So that for us is going to be Edna Mode. Right. Her name. Just her name.
Right.
And once you get Edna Mode, and you say that again and again and again and again, you can then Then you can talk like this, darling. I see we're on the air. The Rated R podcast.
Oh my God, she's here.
I need to have new suits.
Yes.
You know.
I love it. Oh my God.
So there's one.
That was amazing. Great. Okay. Well, I would say that was a pretty good first one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our next one. Classic Minions.
See, now this is actually really interesting because
Ooh.
Minions actually have their own language.
Yes.
Which is insane.
A combination of
languages.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
a bunch of different languages, all bundled up into one.
I watched it and what I got out of it was like Spanish with like English and French and German. I don't know. I don't know if that's correct. But
Pretty
like,
good amount.
I feel like because I speak German and Spanish and English, and I'm like, I definitely hear some of the words from all those languages in there. And then I feel like sometimes like they'll be like merci, it's like French, or also Farsi too. So
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
definitely.
whatever.
So these little guys, you can tell that they definitely different. They have different emotions, and that means they have different characteristics,
Right.
which means they all have different ways of their talking.
Right.
So when you think about like Bob, he has a little bit more characteristic, a little bit more, or is that Kevin? I don't know. I don't
think
want.
Bob is this
Did I-
one, and
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
God,
You know
this-
what?
They're like, how dare
Called
you
him the
call
wrong
Kevin
name.
Bob? Yeah.
I should go, guys.
Yeah.
But for him,
yes. We're gonna just call him
yeah, Minion 1.
Minion 1.
Has a little smirk on his face, so he has a little
Yes.
bit more of that cocky, genuine attitude to
Right.
him. So the thing with Minions is that their voices are very high, and they're actually high pitched, edited. They're edited into high pitched. Actually, crazy enough, the first time that I learned about that, like
Yeah.
raising the pitch, was
Yeah.
actually from Looney Tunes.
Oh.
So the person who did the voices for Looney Tunes was obviously Mel Blanc is the main guy you think about in voiceover. He's the guy who literally started everything in Looney Tunes.
Okay.
So the cool thing about that is that he had all these voices, but the thing is he would use certain voices and they would just raise it up a pitch and it would be a whole different voice. So
That's fair.
if you think about Daffy Duck,
Mm-hmm.
or if you think about Daffy Duck and Sylvester the
Mhm,
cat,
mhm.
they're the same voice.
Oh.
Daffy is just pitched up a little bit.
Oh. Wow.
So when you think
Dun
about
dun dun. Mindfuck.
suffering fuck attach, it's just raised up a little bit, and then you got Daffy Duck. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Wow. I feel like I'm at like Looney Tunes at Disneyland. Like, oh, this is awesome.
So these guys, a little bit hard to do with just like your regular voice, but we're gonna do
Yeah.
it. We're gonna
Yeah.
try our best. So
Just have fun with it.
So, the way that I hear these is that they
Yeah.
go into your higher register. So the way that I talk about it is very like very melodic. So
Okay.
when you go into the higher voice, you think about like when you talk to your animals, like oh look at the little boy.
I do. Yeah. Okay.
So when you go into the higher register,
yeah.
like how you do like a Mickey Mouse, haha, oh boy, like
Casual. It just sounds like Mickey Mouse. Love it.
these guys also go into their nasal as well, even
Oh.
though they don't have any noses.
So you'll go into this nasal voice, but then you're gonna go a little bit higher,
And you'll just talk straight up gibberish, like
da-ba-da-boy, da-ba-da-boy, da-ba-boy,
like you know, like
I love it.
closer to
Banana.
SpongeBob.
Yes.
So think about how you're like talking to Prince, like oh the little boy, and then just
da-ba-da-boy, da-ba-da-boy.
But like I'm overthinking it. Like, what do you
Every
do when you
time.
overthink it? Like,
I hear
like how do you loosen up your brain?
the
Like,
thing you have to realize with voiceover is
Yeah.
you cannot have the fear of looking like an idiot.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have to have like no fear at all, because there's people in the booth that are going like this
yeah.
all the time and are going crazy about
Yeah,
the shaking
yeah.
the head. They got
have-
slobber coming out of their
right.
mouth. But they're doing a killer performance, and you don't realize how much they look like a person who actually is in a padded room talking to themselves.
No, I was literally thinking, I was like, I'm gonna look so silly, like my face. And then you're like, you can't worry about that. I'm like, you're right.
You really can't, because if you're worried about what you look like, because that's the beautiful thing about voiceover.
Right.
Everything on screen, you're always there in front of the camera.
Right, yeah.
Every inflection of your eyes, eyebrow raise, or the way you have something like you squint,
Yeah.
it's all going to be influenced in your performance on
Right.
screen.
Okay.
Off screen and voiceover, you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can look like a complete dunce.
That's true. Okay.
So,
well, that
Think
was
like you're talking to Prince.
okay.
So look at the little boy.
Okay.
Just say like,
what
you know,
am I gonna say?
Just say, look at my little boy. Just think about when you're talking to Prince. Think of my little boy, but then raise it up to where you had it for Edna mode, like the
Okay.
Bring it to the higher register,
Okay.
and then just say it as fast as you can. It'll sound like mumble, but it'll work.
Think of my little boy.
Yeah. Then you just put a little more nasal in there.
But the boy.
Think of the boy.
But the boy. Ah, but boy.
Think of the boy. Banana.
Yeah. All right, now I want.
Okay,
you
Nate,
be laughing
Nate,
over there.
yeah,
I
you
want to
gotta
see you
try
do
this.
it.
Banana part. Alright.
So
You
go to
got
your higher
this.
register. Like, do you?
You got
you
this.
got you got cats. A little high, a little bit into your more nasal. Like, think about.
Mhm.
So when you did Edna, do your Edna.
Ed. Ed.
Now keep that.
Ed. Breathe higher. But the boy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was
Actually, that was close to like a meat wad.
Yeah.
Kind of impression. You know, we got meat wad. Is that crazy? You know, it's kind of wild. Yeah,
for me,
baby.
Edna mode felt easier for my. I don't know. I think as a woman, I have like a deeper voice, so I think it was easier for me to do Edna mode than the minions. I had to like really try to get up there.
That is actually that's crazy. It's crazy you bring that up because there's so many people, there's so many women in the industry
Yeah.
that have a very low voice,
and they play the male characters.
They play male characters all the
I
time.
think I would get hired to play a male character. Honestly,
So-
like I've never had the very feminine like hi like Barbie voice.
But even like think about that. Like you can
Yeah.
even put that as in like as
I could
just
be
a
a
regular
minion.
like a regular boy.
Yeah,
Like
just a regular boy.
a regular
Peter
boy
Pan.
because
no, Pinocchio.
they only did it that way for the aspect of like what was the movie about. But
Right.
if you change the aspect of the movie and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, they're like 3 ruffians,
Right.
and you want to talk like a young kid,
Yeah.
you could probably do that. You
Yeah.
know, all
yeah.
all of anime, most of the young kids
Yeah.
are women.
Wow, that's cool.
It's insane, but it's
It
beautiful.
might be a job for me.
Coming out from my job, I see.
Yeah, no. All right, next character. We're gonna do Tony Montana.
Oh, okay. So we're going more into the impression side of things.
Yes.
So Al Pacino is an impression that everybody kind of has like their
own,
They're kind of
yes.
like tagline. Like
Everyone has tried to do the tagline, so I'm like, show us how it's done.
so the one thing that I kind of got from like just Al Pacino is just my tagline of Hoya, Hoya. So he's got
God.
this thing where he's very in his chest because he's like he's like it's like he's pushing out air while he's pushing like 10
doing a
tons
push-up?
of weight.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
Or like a push up, yeah,
Yeah.
like Hoya, Hoya. So the thing with that is you have to kind of feel it as you're like pushing out breath, like you're
Okay.
like you know like
Okay.
or you're getting scared like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know it's like a gas sort
Yeah.
of thing, but you're
Okay.
putting in that like action to like Hoya.
Hoya!
There you go.
Hoya! No.
There you go. You know what? You got it. You
Hoya! I can't do it.
just gotta go a little. You gotta
I don't
smoke
do
a couple
push-ups with my
cigarettes.
arms. I'm just kidding. I need to. I'm actually working on my arms, so
Okay.
I should be doing that more.
Okay. Apollo Creed. I see.
Yeah,
you.
right.
Um, So the one thing that I can kind of help you with is
Yeah.
like if you think about like if you kind of like go into your gravel like if you could like eat like
Okay.
feel like kind of like something in the back of your throat. So,
E. Oh my god.
so like try to clear your throat. Like now take that
Mhm.
and say Hoya.
Hoya!
There you go.
Ooh,
See, a lot
wow.
more gruff.
Okay.
See, she's already Tony Soprano as
Oh,
it is.
wow.
So now that we got the baseline of him,
Okay. The baseline.
he has this. So you know, Al Pacino is sort of right about here, right?
Mhm.
But with Tony Montana, he has that accent to him, which
Yeah.
means his way of his vowels is going to be a lot different from regular Al Pacino.
Okay.
So Hoya is Al Pacino, but with Tony Montana, you gotta have a little bit of the Tony Montana. So the way that I think about it is if you put most of your
one
your
side?
face to one side, and you
my
give off
God.
that
Suddenly can't move.
Oh, yeah.
face.
Tony Montana. But you have to
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Montana.
Okay.
Tony Montana.
Oh, we got a
I feel like I have to talk with my
got
hands.
expiring workshoppers over here. So his accent is, I can't remember exactly what accent he is. I think he's from like Cuban, right?
I think yes, Cuban.
Some sort of so with Cuban, and you have to think about it sort of like you're playing that accent.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the Al Pacino area.
Mm-hmm.
You got to the back. You got to your side of your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to put that accent in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So putting it all together.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that part.
Come on, you can do it. Try it.
Wait, give me. Okay, so do it one.
So
Do it one more time.
just
for
say
me.
Tony Montana. Just
Okay.
that's our tagline today. Is Tony
Okay.
Montana, because
Okay.
the way that we got into the voice is Hoya.
Yeah.
So
okay.
let's do our Hoyas.
Okay.
Hoya.
Hoya.
Oh
Hoya.
Now you gotta put that to the side of your throat, and you're gonna put that accent in there, and you're gonna say Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
All right.
Accent is
You guys.
Oh my God, that is some serious work. Holy shit! How do you not lose your voice?
It is a thing you have to control your voice,
I
because
feel like I've been at a concert, like screaming and
Already?
yeah.
so when I do Popeye, it's probably the hardest that my voice ever
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
because it's like a buzzsaw, like
I need some spinach.
Right.
because it's closing up the larynx a
Right,
little bit, and then
right.
you're kind of doing it as dry. The best thing you got to do is make sure you coat your throat.
Water break. Vitamin water sponsor me, please.
Because if you do anything on a dry throat, it's gonna sound like you're smoking cigarettes for 70 years.
Right.
See, I'm gonna sound like more like this all the time.
But if you don't put, the thing is if you don't put enough air into it, you're also
Yeah.
going to damage your throat. So when you
Oh.
do that, you have to make sure that you put enough air into it, so
Yeah.
where you're projecting and you're not.
Going to the back of your throat like this. 'Cause
Right.
that after
That-
like 4 hours, that's gonna hurt.
Okay.
A lot. But if you put a little more air into it, then you can do it for more hours.
Yeah. Because I'm like, it would defeat the whole purpose if you lost your voice.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how do you? Yeah.
There's people that come out of video games with bleeding vocal cords sometimes.
Oh my God.
Because they don't know how to properly project.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Project,
voiceover
kids.
acting safe, done safely. Okay, next character.
Okay.
I have Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, okay.
A pirate, the most legendary pirate.
So this one is actually quite interesting as well. So
Okay.
the way that he does it is he plays it very drunk.
So
Right.
you
Ooh,
you
let's
kind
do
of
this.
have to go into this drunk state a little bit, like
okay.
kind of have to just slur your words a little bit.
I close my mouth a little bit so I don't like project too much.
Okay.
So I'm kind of just talking all the time. I'm a little bit more marble mouth.
So try to play
Like-
a little drunk.
Okay.
Like,
oh my God, I've
the
never.
hard
I don't
thing-
think I've ever tried to like pretend to be drunk. Yeah. I'm
So-
like, oh my God.
The absolute hard thing with
Yeah.
playing drunk is you have to play like you're not drunk.
Okay, plot twist.
So the best drunk performances is people who are trying their best not to be drunk. Because when you're drunk,
Right.
what are
like,
you
no,
trying
no,
to
no,
tell
I'm
everybody?
fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. I can
I'm-
walk a straight.
I can
Good.
I can drive my car.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Give me my
Okay, I
keys.
see what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's hear your drunk
No,
voice.
teach me more. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
So
I'm a very visual learner,
fair
so
enough.
I literally need to like copy you.
so drunk voice.
You
Okay.
start off a little bit right here, and then
You got to get to where he is, where like his voice is very it has that accent. So
Yeah.
when you're drunk, you do it like this, and then you kind of put a British accent in there, and then you kind of have to slow your words slower and put all that into the back of your throat. It's called vocal. It's called what is it called? It's called vocal, not vocal strain.
Okay.
So it's basically like talking with no air, which is
Okay.
kind of difficult.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But it's the way that most people do, like Bill Clinton. A lot of the people do Bill Clinton in that area. But as you're putting it into that that part of your throat,
Okay.
you bring the drunkenness to it. You bring that accent.
and you have to slow your words just a little bit.
And sometimes when you're doing Jack Sparrow, you can kind of grit your teeth a little bit because it gives off that.
Captain Jack Sparrow,
Okay.
where he's very,
Oh, this
where
one's
you
gonna
see
be
the
hard for
teeth,
me.
see the teeth. It's giving off that
Yeah.
that sort of area already.
Yeah.
And we're playing drunk and the teeth already. You're not even
The
playing.
movement of your mouth and your face really adds so much to, like, I'm just watching you do all these characters. Like, sorry if I'm staring at you, like, really. I'm just really analyzing your face and how, like, what's moving when you're talking. Like, it's just so interesting because I've never been able to, like, you know, when you're watching a movie, you're not, like, close up, like, okay,
Yeah.
you know. So it's nice to be very close to you and be able to look and see exactly, like, what's moving when. And even with your throat, because I'm just like, I've never, you know, tried to even do that. So yeah, who knew? Like, just a little bit of movement can change so much. You know,
it's actually incredible where impressions, if you really want to sell them, like, you know,
Yeah.
most professional, like, people who do impressions, they embody the character.
right.
So when you embody the character, as well as in voiceover, like when you're doing animation and stuff like that, if you can embody what the emotion is, then the voice is gonna follow. Best way to get into it: do
Yeah.
drunk hands.
Drunk hands.
Do this. So
Okay.
Get into the drunk state.
Good.
Grit your teeth a little bit. Bring in that accent. And then you have Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, it's so hard. You know why? Because I can't do British accents, and I can't. I don't know. I think that's why I'm struggling because I'm not good with accents. So I'm
Well,
like,
hopefully we'll get to
How
that.
do I like move my mouth?
we'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Okay, yeah,
I know
we'll
we
get
can.
to the. Okay,
So even without the accent, if you're just if you grit your teeth like this
if you
and you get a little drunk
get a little drunk.
and then you slow your words, you can
Slow
do
your
Captain Jack
words.
Sparrow the American way.
The American way.
All right.
That
Nate,
one,
let's see your
I
drunk
give myself
hands.
a D. Sorry.
I give myself a C plus.
Okay.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
So
that.
that little tagline could be, you know, it could be
Try
that.
this at home, guys. I want to see if you guys can do it.
The teeth is the hard part for a lot of
It's
people.
always easier said than done.
You don't always have to do the teeth, but it
Gives off that very
No, yeah.
very dark thing that he does.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a bottle of rum.
you know, like
Right.
it's just it's so much fun to me.
No, yeah. I love it. No, I want to get into it. Yeah, I'm like, okay, let me keep doing this. By the end of this, I'll be
You'll be going for my job at the end of this.
Morgan Freeman.
Ah, yes.
The man
Okay.
who I want to narrate my life story.
So Morgan Freeman actually has an accent as well. I don't know exactly
Oh,
where it's
Yeah,
from,
I don't either.
but it's a neutral American accent. It's just it's somewhere that I just don't have a distinct location of.
Yeah.
The way that I go with Morgan Freeman is you have to make sure that you have a lot of gravitas
What does
to
that
your
mean?
voice. So you know when I hear in my voice, you feel that bass.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a lot of bass for
You're
Morgan
gonna need
Freeman.
that. Okay.
Um,
Challenge accepted.
so the way that I've been doing Morgan Freeman, and I haven't been doing it for a very long, but I kind of raise my upper palate.
Okay.
So the way that I can do that is, so it's like it's inhaling a little bit, but and when you do that, you raise your upper palate, but then you can hold it, and it sounds like you're very old. It sounds like you have something closing in your throat already, and even then, right there, that has that same
that.
sound that he has.
Okay.
Now, because he's a narrator, every single thing that he talks about is perfect diction.
Yes.
Sibilant S's, eloquent sentences.
Yes.
Everything sounds like a dictionary.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yes.
when you raise the lower palate, right?
Okay.
You
And you kind of get into that area. And then you
kind of do what you do with Jack Sparrow. You go into that lower end of your throat while also keeping that palate up.
Yeah.
and you do Morgan Freeman. Andy Dufresne. Let's see what our tagline is.
Let's see our tagline is Andy Dufresne, because that's the main thing I think about with Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know why. But so when you raise the palate and you go into the somewhat of the area of where Josh Sparrow is. Josh Sparrow? What did I just
Yeah,
say?
he said Josh
That's
Sparrow.
a Josh Sparrow.
Hey, we're making new characters.
That's the
on-
American version of Jack Sparrow.
Yo,
He's
what's
in the
up, Josh
sequel.
Sparrow? I
He
got
has
a bottle
twin.
around it.
We never knew about this twin until right now. Morgan
So
Freeman.
Raise that lower palate. Go into that part where Jack Sparrow would be, where he's that not drunk, but like to that area of voice. Add both those together. And like, I want y'all to know, this is not easy.
No, this is not like. I know everyone's probably gonna hate on me. Like, oh my gosh, can't do it.
Listen,
This
you're
shit's
trying.
hard.
You're
This shit's hard.
but you're trying though. You're learning and you're trying. There's other
But
people that I try to teach.
I want people to see that also. Like, this is a job that you have to take 100% seriously. Like, people might be like, oh, it's a fun job. Like, you're fun characters. Like, how hard can it be? It's hard because
It's hard.
you have to put your whole body into it. You have to get into it. Like he said, like, it really depends on what the character is. Like, if they're confident, sad, like, you have to get into that mindset. You can't just be like complete opposite. You put in work. It's not
110%.
You always have to practice, and it's not something that just happens overnight. So
Definitely not.
here we are to show you.
I had to.
It's definitely not going to happen in the next hour. So
No, I had to befriend cartoons and a bunch of TV shows for all my life in order to do this.
Yeah.
I kind of just, got bored with with myself, and I just started talking to myself a lot of the times. I mean, I had imaginary friends that I started giving voices to, and that's kind of where it started off a little bit. But the thing with impressions is that just because you can say Andy Dufresne, you don't get the job.
it's so hard. Yeah, because you have to be able to be you can't just say one word as that character. You have to be able to have a whole conversation or say the lines and whatever else it may be. So
So you can say, you can say, what's up, Doc? But can you get electrocuted as Bugs Bunny? Can you get shot as Bugs Bunny? Can you have a conversation about love with Bugs Bunny? Can you Shakespeare Bugs Bunny?
No.
To be or not to be, Doc?
I love that. No, that's a good PSA. It's true. These are all facts.
So
I guess I'll attempt.
You can
him.
do it.
Okay. Well, let me hear it one more time.
Okay. Raise that palate. Into that area of your nasal.
Into that area.
I say nasal, more like with Edna mode.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring it back to the voice, bring it back a little bit. Keep that upper palate, and you're gonna say Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne. Oh, it's so hard. I can't hit that note. I don't know.
Keep blowing out.
Yeah.
I'm breathing in. I'm going.
And no.
And now I go into the nasal.
This one's the hardest one now. I correct myself.
And then with that gravitas. Yeah, so you're think of it like a gasp. You don't want to call you don't want to do what I just did. But you're gonna like a gasp, bring that palate. Yeah, and then go into your nasal. Edna. Bring it back a little bit. Bring that gravitas to your voice because I already hear it. I hear your little baritone, your bass in it. You're gonna add those all together in a little mixing pot, and you're gonna say, Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne.
Nice.
Pretty
nice.
close, y'all.
Dufresne.
Yeah, that did not sound like that, but. All right, now moving on. Our Antonio Banderas Puss in Boots.
So we
Nice
got
little
another accent.
Latin, Hispanic accent going on.
Hispanic descent.
Mm-hmm.
So his is very whispery. It's very you know how people like in music have a breathy tone to them?
Yes.
That's exactly what we're going to do here. So
okay.
we're going to talk, but we're going to put breath on it.
Okay.
We're going to put breath on it.
I got to listen to it more.
We're going to sound like
I got a little confident.
like we're a little wispy. But we're going to go up. We're going to start here. We're going to start breathing and talking at the same time.
We're going to start breathing and talking at the same time.
So go, now let out hi while doing it. Hi.
Hi. Oh, can you do that again?
Hi.
Hi.
There you go. Nate. Hi. There you go. See,
Yeah.
okay, you get a little bit. Don't push it too much, because then you're going to be like, hi.
Okay.
It's going to give that raspiness.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
There you go. Okay. Now, with him, we already know he's adventurous. We got the hat, we got the sword, the boots.
Yep. He's looking to fuck shit up.
So he's got dangerous intentions. So
yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah, like what he said, dangerous intentions.
So you're gonna bring a little action to it. You're gonna be like, so let's say his tagline is fear me if you dare, because that's the thing he says.
Okay.
So Hi. We're gonna bring that breath in. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
But we're gonna give it a little bit of that action thriller. So it's gonna be hi.
Hi. Oh, it's a little. I think I did too hard.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Now, the thing with him is he has an accent, and that accent is going to bring that both things and combine them, and it's going to be fear me if you dare.
Fear me if you dare.
So dude, come on.
Fear me. No.
Fear me.
What's wrong with that?
I think I said the wrong line. I think I said feel me.
Feel me. Feel me if you dare.
I said it
How
so
dare you.
confident. I think I said feel me if you
Feel
dare.
me.
Oh, that's funny.
With consent.
They're like wrong
With
line.
consent.
Please don't.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're like please don't change the script.
Antonio's like, feel me. He's like, no,
They're like
Antonio.
cut,
no.
wrong line, wrong line.
What did I say?
yeah. Good one. Okay, one more time. Sorry.
So with that, hi, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier. So it's
Okay,
gonna be the way that I think about it is if you bring the breath in later, it'll
Yeah.
be easier. So this is gonna be to the back, kind of like to the back of your throat a little bit, but we're gonna be pushing through our teeth.
Okay.
So fear.
Fear. No, I'm doing that.
Fear.
Fear. How do you pronounce the R so clear? Fear. Oh my god.
So the way that the way that it's hard because like I said, accents are crazy. They got
Yeah.
a bunch of different
Yeah.
syllables. So fear.
Fear.
You don't have to
Fear.
roll the R too much. It's a
You're
good
like,
try.
calm down.
No, it's a good try. But the way that he doesn't roll his R's too much. He's
Okay.
like fear.
Fear.
You know, see, yeah. So that's where you are,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Now put in the accent a little. Put in the
Oh,
accent
God.
a little
Here
bit
we
more,
go.
and you're gonna bring that breath in. You're gonna, as you push it,
Push
you're
it
gonna
out.
be fear me if you dare.
Fear me if you dare.
It's okay.
I have to go over,
It's
like, 25
all right.
times.
It happens. Try it again.
Fear me if you dare.
You're not giving yourself enough projection.
I can. Okay, you're
so
right.
when you're how you're talking right now, same projection. Fear me.
Fear me.
There you go.
Okay, I think I could only do fear me, not the whole sentence.
Fear me if you dare.
Fear me if you dare.
You got to keep that projection
gonna be here
throughout
all
the
night, guys.
entire thing because
Okay.
you have it on the good side.
Yeah.
You have it on the fear me,
Okay.
but you have to do it through the entire thing.
Yes.
Let it go as
Yes.
like you're pulling that
You're
string.
proving the point where, like, I might be able to say the first, maybe one like phrase of it, but can I be the whole character? In this situation, I would not. Because, so you wouldn't hire me. You would hire Jacob.
Let's hope. DreamWorks,
Yeah,
call me.
right. Nate, give it a try.
All right, we got fear me.
There you go.
Yeah,
Now let's
okay.
hear the whole
Fear me if
thing.
you dare.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's pretty
okay.
good, buddy.
Like, hold up.
What do we got today?
We got the famous Marge Simpson.
Okay, now.
What are your thoughts on this?
This one is gonna be hard. Extremely.
I probably won't be. I probably won't be able to do this one, but it's Jacob
So-
can.
So remember the when I did Popeye?
Yes.
It's the buzzsaw in your throat. Give it like it's
Okay.
like it's like how most people would have like when they have cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They put that thing in their throat.
Oh, yeah, like the yeah.
That is super hard to do
Okay.
because if you don't put it into the right passage, it's gonna just go like it's gonna be like it's not. It's gonna hurt and it's gonna strain
Okay,
your
so
throat.
maybe we sit this one out and you just show us a little demonstration.
I probably would be
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
I'm not trying to bust my vocal cords.
yes. So the thing with this guy is you have to do the buzzsaw. So the,
Okay.
but she's very here. So
Yeah.
she's very into the like what I call the airy tone. So like we how we have breath on Puss in Boots.
Yes.
She's very light.
Okay.
She's very high up here.
Okay.
So you have the higher register and you have a lot of breath.
And he kind of add those both together, and there you got Marge Simpson.
Oh wow.
Oh, homie.
But she's also not very energetic. As
Yeah.
you can tell, she's a mom. She's
She got a kind of upbeat attitude.
Yeah.
You could even have there's sometimes where where you think about her sisters like Wilma and Selma, they're more that Popeye smoker voice where it's like,
We're on a smoke break.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
But the thing with Marge is she's very lilting. She's like, she has a smile on her
Yeah.
face. So she's very nice. She's gentle. She's, she's welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, hi, I'm Marge Simpson. Like,
Right.
but with more of that, because if you have that, then you have, hi, I'm Marge Simpson.
Right.
Now, I can't do it as high as, like, the character would.
I think you're doing pretty damn good.
But,
But you're so right. Like, honestly, I could already feel my throat hurting for you. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could not do that. You really gotta.
I try to do Popeye for a solid, like, 15 minutes straight, and I'm like, I have
You're like,
to
I'm
go.
done. Yeah.
This is not fun.
She's trending from the show White Lotus. Jennifer Coolidge. Do you know her?
God.
Yes. I think she's been winning awards. She is iconic. She was in Legally Blonde. She's in both seasons of White Lotus, and I thought it'd be fun to try to
Alright. We can do it. We could try.
impersonate her.
All right. So she also has something about her voice where it's not too it's not nasal, but it's somewhat passage-wise closed off a bit.
Okay.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She also has that breathy tone to her, but she's not like fear me or
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marge
It's
Simpson.
like different.
she has full breath,
Okay.
and so it sounds like she's just going straight from her tone to like
Yeah.
her ground voice.
Yeah.
So let's do our tagline is going to be, oh my God.
Yeah.
So the way that I think about it is like if you have a couple marshmallows in your mouth,
Okay.
a little bit,
Okay.
and you kind of like and you're also sinking your cheeks in a little bit at the same time. So also the thing with her is that she doesn't open her mouth a lot
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
at all, which does change her voice a little bit.
Right.
Because with less air passage, you're gonna have a different. Well, if I speak right here,
Right.
that's my voice, but just not opening my mouth a lot. Now, if I'm
Yeah.
speaking how I usually am,
Right.
I have a lot more going on in this trap of mine. So the way that she has her thing is she's kind of pursed lips. So it's like, so you kind of want to talk like this, but with that passage of air that she has, where
Okay.
she's like, huh. Like a sigh a little bit. Think about a sigh while you're talking.
oh my
No,
God.
no. Keep going. See? Okay, now that's good.
Okay.
Now with pursed lips this time. Okay. A little bit more breath. Okay. All right. And now we're going to do, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That was killer! That was so
You're a great
good!
teacher.
All right, Nate. So you got pursed lips. You're gonna be basically doing like a sigh, like
Marshmallow lips.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna say, "Oh my God."
Yeah!
Yes, that's my
Oh my
boy.
God, that's awesome.
That is so
Wow.
killer.
I didn't, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to do that." I don't know.
did
Yeah,
it.
nice.
And now the thing is, you keep
Oh,
that
yeah.
tagline, keep going. Next thing you'll be like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, you're like the 4th of July."
Yeah, and then I can have a whole conversation.
You got the
I'll
whole
call you and you're
conversation
like,
with Jennifer
"Jennifer?"
Coolidge. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I have the Joker. I want to do his Joker because you know how I said we're gonna do a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do animated Joker talking to Batman for the conversation.
Okay.
So I know he's a little different.
So with
And they are shooting the new Joker here
Mm-hmm.
in LA.
So, Joaquin Phoenix basically just does his voice. So if you can do an impression of Joaquin, he basically got Joker down. He has kind of that Jennifer Coolidge tone to him, but he's more fuller voice.
Okay.
So he'll have that breathy like but it'll be in his register. Because when he talks like for 40 years, like he has this thing where he has some breath to him. So, like I said, the Jennifer Coolidge type range.
Yeah.
But I kind of say that this is also in the range of like that Bill Clinton where we were talking about, where it's a vocal rasp or vocal strain. But he doesn't go all the way in the back of the throat like how Bill Clinton would. He kind of stays in this area a little bit, and he's a very inflectious person, so he's very melodic. He goes up and down on his stuff, and which is great for the characters that he's playing.
Right.
with adding that,
Well, you can also do your
To
little
both
like
of 'em.
spin on like it could be Joker in general. Yeah, it doesn't have to be just him. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
there's- yeah.
that creepy like villain type.
there's a good amount of
Something's off
Jokers out
about
there.
you type of vibe. Yeah.
So the way that he kind of sounds to me by doing, just off top of the dome, be like, it's a cruel world. It's a cruel world. It may not be the greatest to think about where he, where the impressions kind of just are there. But if you have that part of your throat and you're pulling out the air, it can get there.
Okay.
Mm.
We can skip to the next one.
No. I think I'm just like, wow.
You're overthinking it.
I am overthinking it.
Don't
Thinking about it.
overthink it.
Think about it that way.
Yeah.
See, learning from my own
Yeah.
information right here.
I'm like, I know you got like it's in there.
So he also kind of has a little bit of his passageway closed off a bit too. Thinking about it, where he's like, we live in a cruel world where he has that, but he has that breathy tone to him.
Yeah.
His age as well. We live in a cruel world. We live in a cruel world. It's
You got it. No, you got it. Okay, iconic character, Forrest Gump,
okay.
a Southern military man.
Yeah, this is also based on an accent as well.
Yes.
Because he's got that accent to him, but also
Yes.
like how we did with Edna Mode,
Yeah.
he's also very staccato.
Oh.
And what
okay.
staccato is another music term. So
Okay.
staccato and legato. Legato is very woo woo woo, and
Okay.
staccato is boom 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 boom.
Oh, great way to put it. Cool.
So the way that Edna Mode is the same thing we'll do with Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Where you're gonna ba ba ba, or the way that he says it, you'd be like, let's see, what do we have his tagline for?
Well, I know it's
We
like
have-
run, Forrest, run, but that's not what he says. How about you know how he talks about Jenny, or like Bubba Gum Shrimp.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
You ain't got no
We're
legs.
acting.
So he actually has a little bit of his nasal as well, but it's a thing of like droopy a little bit. So he's actually in the Bill Clinton area too, because
Okay.
the cool thing with that is Bill Clinton and Forrest Gump kind of have that same accent.
Yeah, they do.
So we're gonna go into the back of the throat where we have it here. It's called vocal strain or something. It's another term for it, but we're gonna say vocal strain for right now because
Yeah.
this is where Bill
it's
Clinton
kind of
is.
like Elvis vibes too, like when
Uh-huh.
Austin. But yeah. Okay.
That's also on the side. That's also on the side of the throat. Most people do with Elvis, like, oh, thank you very
Oh,
much.
yeah, I can't do it. Thank you very much.
But it is in the same throat. You're actually correct.
Yay! I'm learning.
So, it's like basically like going to the very back of your throat without like killing yourself.
Okay.
And the thing with his accent, along with how he talks very staccato, is I don't think that we're doing it right. Like that's where he is. So we're gonna say our tagline is "You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan."
Okay.
So he's gonna have that ups and downs,
Yeah.
but he's also gonna be very soft. You don't see
Okay.
this man having too much energy in his voice.
Okay.
A little
Yeah.
bit more of like he's trying to figure things out. So with the tagline that we have, with everything we learned, in the back of the throat, vocal strain, putting on that accent. Now the accent is, we got Southern things where you kind of have to do that certain twang to them.
Okay.
So we're just gonna say yeehaw.
Okay.
So the way they have their e's is yeah, then haw. So it's yeehaw. It's yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
And adding to that voice, we got yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
And then the way that he has staccato, yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Now add that droopy, like nose, that droopy, like nasal thing, and it got yeehaw.
And I got yeehaw.
And now our tagline is, "But you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan."
You ain't got no.
Come on, it's okay.
Do it again.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
You ain't got no legs. No. I went British.
You can do it.
Oh, that's so hard. Nate, try it.
Yay-haw.
Save me.
Yeehaw.
Y'all ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dern.
Oh,
Hey,
there you
very
go. You
close.
did,
All
yeah.
right, now you got to do it. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Put in the vocal string. Get that
Yeehaw.
accent. Yeehaw.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. See, trust yourself. Just because the majority of these are also men voices,
Yeah.
which are harder for women, but that doesn't mean you can't do them.
Yes, put yourself out there. Okay, moving on.
All right. I actually didn't know I could do that. Crazy enough, yeah.
So we're gonna move on to character conversations. And so I picked a few,
Okay.
paired up a few characters,
Okay.
and you can like switch off. I don't know if I'm gonna like try to copy it. I think I'm just gonna listen
Okay.
and give you the characters. But
right.
I mean, if I feel like I could do it, I'll try. My first choice was animated Joker talking to Batman.
Okay. So we do an animated Batman, or we doing Christopher Bale Batman?
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
We're doing Kevin Conroy. God, may he rest in peace. I
Yes.
cried the moment that I figured it out, man. It was
Yeah.
it was sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Rest
And
in peace.
he was a gay icon too. Nobody
Yeah.
knew that about him.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
wow.
he was a part of the LGBTQ community.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
The animated Joker, we
Yes.
got obviously Mark Hamill,
Mm-hmm.
where he's he's very exuberant, where he's like, "Oh, the bat is here!" Like, then we have the John DiMaggio version where he's like, from the Under the Red Hood, where he's like, "I'm gonna be very bad," and then we have Kevin Michael
Ooh.
Richardson, where it's a combination of both. He's like, "I feel a little bit screw loose, so I checked myself in."
Yes, I love that. That's awesome.
So we got 3 options, and
Okay.
then Kevin Conroy.
Mhm.
I love you. I hope you know I can't do your voice, but I'm gonna try.
You can.
So we'll go through the 3 Jokers.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
Oh, Batsy. Stuck again, I see. Well, the trap caught you this time.
Chills.
very funny Joker. Now where's Catwoman?
Oh, the little kitty. You want to find a little tail, Bats? You want to give you a riddle? Oh, I'm the wrong person for that one, Batsy. You need to find her yourself. And you need to find her fast, for that bomb on the side is ticking, Bats.
You're bluffing, Joker. You would never do anything like that. I know you.
Oh, do you know me, Batsy?
Or do you wish you would?
Now I'll give you a chance. Tick tock, tick tock. Find the scratches, Bats. Talk's ticking.
Iconic. Oh my god. Dude, oh my god. You have to have your own fucking TV show right now. I felt like I was watching TV. I was like,
I do that at home all the time.
that is so
Kermit
cool.
the Frog will always be talking to somebody
That
I
is
know.
that is really cool. So is that like a common way to rehearse character, like have conversations?
110%.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I love doing that because also improv is also a big thing that voiceover typically doesn't ask of you, but if you
Yeah.
can do it, it's great because
Yeah.
if you can think on the fly with a character that you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot beneficial to the people who are in the other
Yeah.
side of the booth that are like,
Yeah.
we don't really know where this character's kind of going, so we're just
Yeah.
gonna let you
Yeah.
riff a little bit.
Like that was actually fantastic. Like ace that
Appreciate
shit.
it. Thank you.
Okay, my next conversation, we're gonna do Marge.
Lewis Griffin.
The
Oh, you
wife.
you mean Lois.
Sorry, Lois.
Oh, you mean Lois.
Lois. It's 'cause
Okay.
I misspelled it, so I read it wrong.
So that's also very nasal.
That's not nasal.
So the way that you can think about
Thing about Lois is,
it's kind of like Peter, but a lot more nasal because
Peter's around about here, like, hey, how's it going? I'm Peter Griffin.
yeah.
But you're gonna not do this with Lois. You're gonna go.
and it kind of higher register like this. So we're at the grocery store, and I'm gonna be like, oh, sorry, that bread is mine. Oh, well, I didn't know that it had your name on it. Oh, so you're getting snippy with me. I once killed a woman, Oh, well, I was a police officer once. I can detain you. Well, how about
about I just get my husband real quick and we'll have it all settled up. I'll go get my husband too, homie.
Yes. Oh my god, that was so good. Like every time I'm just like re-impressed. I'm like, what? Like how does he? I feel like you're transforming. It's always characters. It's awesome. Okay, well, if you're ready for the next set,
let's do it.
Winnie and Tigger. Winnie the Pooh, not Winnie Harlow, the model.
Oh, bother. Think. Hey, Pooh! What's they got going on there? I left my honey and I can't seem to reach it. Well, they keep on bouncing, and you'll sure to get it. Oh, bother. If only I could bounce.
Wow, that's awesome. Woo!
Jim Cummings is a phenomenal actor, and the way that he can do both of those is insane.
Wait, he's both characters?
He's both characters. He's Tigger and Pooh.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Is that like a common thing for voiceover actors to be more than one character in the same show?
Oh, yeah. What
about same movie?
Same movie, hit and miss.
Okay.
If it's mostly celebrity people on the movie, chances are no.
Yeah, like now, so the other day, I've seen Trolls a few times, but I actually really paid attention to the cast list, and every little troll was a different celebrity. And I was like, wow, big budget movie, makes sense, but they're all singing and they have their own voice. And I was like, was that like always a thing back when we were, kids? I didn't notice like all these big, like it was like such a big lineup always.
Oh, yeah. In movies, it wasn't too much. In cartoons, you can have at least one person playing 7 different characters at all times. If they really wanted to.
Paid for
they are getting paid each character.
Okay.
Because with like Animaniacs, Rob Paulson, he's the voice of Yakko from Animaniacs. Like, and good night, everybody. But he's also
Dr. Otto von Scratch and Sniff, where
he has both of those, and then he's also extra characters too, where they have people who just kind of like they kind of jot in. We need a cheerleader. We need a punk. We need this, and they'll be like, "You guys go."
All right. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. My next set of characters is Rocky versus Terminator.
Oh, okay.
Sylvester versus
Sylvester
Arnold?
Stallone. So the way I played Rocky like a really bad like how the way that Hank Azaria, he's a voice actor on The Simpsons, and he used to play the character Lou the Cop, and he would always play Lou the Cop like this, but he said it was a pretty lazy Stallone. And the thing about Rocky is he's got a little bit of a screw loose in it,
He's gotten hit a few times in the head.
And accents as well are a big thing when it comes down to Rockies, because Rocky and the Terminator, Arnold is where is he from again?
Austria.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So the way that Joe Gadot, he's a phenomenal person who does an impression of Terminator. But let me see if I can envelop.
Hey, you've nailed all of them so far. So.
Hey, Robo Freak, will I go a little round in the ring? Nah, I can't. I need to find Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor? I don't know. She from the Bronx. No, Sarah Connor. I have to find her now.
Yes. Hell yeah, that is awesome. Okay, to end the character conversation, I have one more.
All right.
We're gonna do Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker.
So we got Mark Hamill in his younger years. Where he's just sort of like this young guy, he just sort of just has his little chip on his shoulder. Yeah. And then we have Darth Vader, where you have that gravitas, like we've had like a couple of impressions. So we'll have we'll take this out of a scenario where it'll never ever happen. So it'll be like,
I've come to therapy to talk about my father.
And I've come to therapy to talk about my father. And my father happens to be this person right here, who has never been there for me to pick up any power converters.
My father was never there for me. And I'll
Everyone's like,
never
"For
be
me?"
there for you. It's trauma, my son.
I love that. It's trauma, my son. Put that on a shirt. Yes. Okay, that was fucking fabulous. I'm like, literally could do this all day. Yes. Yeah. You want to?
Is there a major difference between how he does Mufasa and
Oh
Vader?
man.
Yeah.
So
that's
it-
true. Because it's played by the same guy, right?
Yeah,
Or
so
voiced
James
by
Earl
the same guy.
Jones. Yeah, James Earl Jones.
Do you notice him doing it differently, like those two characters differently?
In inflections, yes. In far as like performance goes, it's
Scar, you know, he has that gravitas to him.
but with Vader, it's more staccato for him because he's like,
You have failed me once again.
you know, it's but when with like him and Lion King, it's like,
Ah, Simba. The world, you know, everything beyond the horizon is yours. Like, you know,
he has more of that very, you know, lilting to him. Because he's a powerful, strong man, but he's a hero. He's a leader. So you're not going to hear so much of a leader have that staccato. It's mostly
Right,
villains.
right,
And if
right.
you have villains, it's mostly in a minor key. Because
Bad guys always have minor keys.
Speaking of bad girls, I wanted to do a Harley Quinn Jersey accent.
okay.
The Margot Robbie version, maybe?
The Margot Robbie. Okay. So
Wow.
Jersey. So the way that she has it is kind of like how I would say, like how most like Jersey, like if you think about Jersey Shore a little bit, you'll think about this version of Harley Quinn. Now if you have like Tara Strong's Harley Quinn,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
basically it's kind of the same, you know, area. Now
Okay.
I can't do a Harley Quinn impression, but they're
Oh, come on.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one that you can't do?
nah, I clock it. Tara Strong has me. She
Sorry,
has
Harley
job
Quinn.
security.
Yeah.
But the accent is
Yeah.
actually pretty you know easy in itself. It's the way it's like the gossip accent to me,
Yeah.
because you always hear about like, you know, how people from everything from like from Jersey is, oh my god, did you hear that this one time, like, you know, it's like they're basically gossiping the entire time. So
Right.
the way they have their inflections and their syllables. So let's say our tagline for you was Harley Quinn, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Ha, it's not har, it's ha. They get
Ha.
rid of the R entirely.
Ha.
Harley
Harley.
Quinn,
Harley Quinn.
Harley. So you got to say like ha,
Ha.
get rid of the R, and then Lee.
Harley. Harley Quinn.
Going a little British there.
Oh, shit.
So-
Why do I want to gravitate towards
Jersey is a little bit more nasal as well.
Okay.
So think about it a little bit more like yeah, like you gotta go like into Edna a little bit. But Harley Quinn.
Harley. Oh, fuck, I can't. Harley Quinn. Why is that so hard?
The nasal is
What do you do with your mouth?
So
Ha.
Harley Quinn.
Harley. Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, nice to meet you.
Harley Quinn. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. You got it.
Uh-huh,
At the end,
at the
I
yeah.
hear the at the end.
Try.
I think it's the Harley that's getting you getting you messed up. So let's go again. We got. So think about if you're make sure that you have it into that nasal passage.
Okay.
So, Edna mode,
Okay.
but Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. It's hard. Harley Quinn.
Say it faster because maybe it's doing
Harley
a little bit.
Quinn. Nice to meet you.
There you go.
Okay.
A little bit faster. See, is overthinking.
I think I was overthinking. I was doing it too
Harley
slow.
Quinn, nice to meet you.
I just have to say it. Okay.
Now there's sometimes a little bit of the tongue movement as well in Jersey. So Harley Quinn, you kind of have your tongue a little bit on the top of your mouth, almost
Okay.
close behind your teeth a little bit. Harley
Yeah,
Quinn,
I
nice
could
to
feel
meet you.
Okay. Yeah.
You know. So
That
we
was pretty good.
yeah.
Okay. I have one
Alright.
more accent that I want
Okay.
to finish the episode on because this is like I feel like one of the trickiest ones and it's so hard to understand. a Scouse accent from Scotland.
Scouse accents are very hard.
Yes, it's just gonna be funny to end the episode on this.
The only way I can do anything Scottish
Okay.
is like Bravehearting it, basically.
Okay, we can Braveheart it.
So we got a little bit of that, like or like think about like kind of like Shrek a little bit,
Oh, I love Shrek.
or like Fat Bastard, because they're kind of they're in the same area of Scotland.
Okay.
I don't know
Should
if
we do like a Scottish Shrek?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do a little bit of that. We can be like, we could do get out of my swamp.
Yes.
Let's say that.
Okay,
You don't have to. You don't have to yell it, but you can be like, that's the way that I do it.
Oh,
So
yeah, it might make it easier to have like
Yeah, so-
emphasis on it.
it's like, so the way that the get it's
Get. That's hard.
get out of my swamp. So with Scottish it's very forceful.
Yeah.
Not all the time, because if you think about who was just in the Batman, what was his name? Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell is Scottish, straight out the gate.
Okay.
So or he's Irish, isn't he? He's Irish, but he can play Scottish.
The thing I think about when I'm doing Irish is they're very
They have this thing with their R's that feel like you're splitting in two a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it that way, but
it's there and it's there and it's going to be there at all times.
Okay.
So
there it's like you're splitting the syllable in half.
Oh, jeez.
But with Scottish, it's like a straight punch.
Oh, okay.
So, there. But
There.
they don't do too much of the R, but they drop the R more than anything. So so when you say get out of my swamp, there's not really much of an R there, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But that's the difference between Irish and Scottish that I've learned, is that their R's is insane. But instead of get, it's get. It's gut. Gut. And so think about like gut, but putting that little slight E in there. So gut. Gut. There you go.
Get out of my swamp.
So get out. Out.
Get out.
So we have like the ow. It's instead of out, it's ow.
Oh.
So
Ow.
out.
Okay.
Out.
Get out of my swamp.
So like you just hit your knee. Ow.
Out.
Get out.
Get out. Of
So get out.
It's
of.
not as easy as it looks.
Of is seems pretty easy. It seems like it's out there. So just get out of my, instead of my, it's ma. And then a little bit of the Y at the end.
Get out of my swamp.
There you go. You got
My
ma.
swamp.
Ma swamp.
My swamp.
But
Get out of my swamp.
instead of swamp, it's swamp. You want to take that A and take it into an
Get
O.
out of my swamp.
There you go. Yeah, a little pea pop, but you got it.
You're like, okay, calm down.
You got it. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
So all together now, all right? Get out of my swamp.
Get out of my swamp. No.
You get there. You
Okay.
get there. You get there.
We had some hit or misses on this one. It's okay.
Listen,
though.
I definitely have my swings and misses. Like there's some accents that I'm learning that I'm just not getting.
Which ones are hard for you now that you're a seasoned voiceover actor and you do this as your profession? Like what seems to be tricky for you?
Cajun.
Oh. Okay.
Cajun / Creole.
yeah.
I've been watching this guy called Justin Wilson. He's a white guy from southern Louisiana.
Nice.
Because most people, when they think about Creole, they think about like they think about Cajun, they think about the Bayou, they think about but they also think about people of color. They think about they think about mostly African Americans.
Yeah.
And actually, Jim Cummings, he did Ray the Firefly in Princess and the Frog, and he was doing a voice of a person who is African American.
Yeah.
That he met while being a deckhand on a riverboat.
Okay. Cool.
But I didn't want to do the generic one, because sometimes being a person that is not of that color is going to be very it's not very accepting.
Right.
So I went to this guy. His name's Justin Wilson. He had a cooking show in Louisiana, and everything that he said, his tagline was "I guarantee."
I can't even try that.
So then the way that because the way it is, it's Southern and French
Yeah.
with a baby, and it's so difficult.
Wow. Okay.
So the way they say onion is onion. Where they say lemon is lemon. Where they say crab, it's crib. Where they say oysters. It's oysters. So where he's talking about cooking, he's like,
All right, there, we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to do a little bit of that crab lemon. It's my mother's recipe, and I guarantee.
like, you know, so it's close, but
Yeah.
it's not where I have this like this twang where it's the bayou, like it's
Right.
but-
Right. I get it. No, but
Yeah.
practice makes perfect, and you're
Every
already
time.
onto it. Like, you already got it. I mean, I could not sound like that.
every time I'm learning a new impression, it's always in the car, every single time.
Okay. Because you're by yourself? Like, is that your you time, or is
It's
that...
just a long drive sometimes. Like
Okay,
there's
yeah.
times where like I'm
Traffic,
dropping
hour.
off like, you know, where I'm dropping off like Missy at set
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and it'll just be like it'll be like an hour to 30-minute drive and I'm like, Matt Berry,
Yeah.
the dangerous bastard in New York City.
like, you know, or Bill Hader where he's
I love Bill Hader.
He's you know, he's right about here
Yeah.
all the time, and you know, it's a crazy thing.
but I learned it from like saying a tagline from Bob's Burgers where he's like, "Hey, Burger Bob's." Like, so like just playing around with the voice. If you
Right.
got something you want to do and you see something that you might be able to do, just play around with it as long as you can until you're sick of your own voice at that point.
It'd be so funny. Like, I don't even know what my own voice sounds like anymore. 'Cause you...
Sometimes I don't.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you
that
so much
was
for having me.
so much fun.
was so
I had
much
such a
fun.
blast.
All right, here. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna go here and you're gonna make sure to subscribe to the channel. You're gonna make sure that you listen to the podcast on Spotify. You're gonna make sure that you go to the Instagram and follow, and make sure to hit that notification button. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go hit the bar with the boys. And
I believe that's all, folks.
I love that. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, that was so cool.
That was so much
was
fun,
so much
y'all.
fun.
Oh my god, I had a
Give
killer
yourself an
time.
applause.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.